welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I bring you behind the scenes of a live stream interview setup. I list out all the lighting we use to shape this two-person interview look. I turn on each light individually, slowly building up the overall look. I also sit down with the production company owner to talk about the details of the project and show you the final look. So let's get into it. All right, we are on the set of a live stream shoot. This is a live stream. We have multiple cameras. We set up this Airbnb to make things happen. So this is actually Jesse. You've probably seen him on the channel. He's with Go Man Productions, and he actually hired me out again this year for a live stream. And last year we actually worked on a big project, multiple days across all of Texas. So I'm gonna let Jesse kind of give you a rundown of what we got going on here, and then we'll kind of run through the lights with two people here. You do see Jesse has glasses. Our talent didn't have glasses. His are actually being evil right now.
I don't actually need these. These are just blue light glasses.
There you go. No glasses. And then we're gonna dial in the lights. So I haven't even tuned the lights. This is what we had it at for the actual live stream for our talent, and they were a little bit darker complexion. So we'll make those adjustments. Kick it off, Jesse. What do we got going on?
Like Peter said, my name's Jesse, own Go Man Productions. I guess it was summer last year when we first teamed up on an oil and gas shoot, and so decided to kick off the partnership again. Today we're producing a live stream for a couple that has a brand that revolves around teaching people how to have a better marriage. So we're putting on a 3-day live stream marriage masterclass type event where they have VIP people that are jumping on Zoom prior, and these people have paid to get access to that. And then after about an hour, they'll transition over to YouTube where kind of the general session will begin. So we have a lot of different moving pieces when it comes to the setup that we have, just with lighting and audio and cameras and all that. But then we also have to worry about slides for the talent to see, and all sorts of different things.
Confidence monitors. We have one here. So we're already being bad because we keep looking at ourselves.
Yeah.
So we actually see the two shot and not looking straight into camera. So confidence monitors, and then a lot of integration of like notes and slides coming in, notes for the actual talent. So there's a lot of factors, a lot of HDMI cables being run into our ATEM switcher. We have 4 cameras, 3 on the main talent, 1 for our MC, which kind of brings in and takes us out of the Zoom call, brings us in and takes us out of the YouTube video. We're in a regular home. This is just an Airbnb that we've utilized. We've done a lot of things when it comes to lighting. So I'm gonna break that down now. Here's the setup. We're going for a home look, but obviously we want to have control of the lights. Everything is filmed a little bit later in the afternoon during golden hour, and you'll see how that plays in this space. So here's all the lights off and then all the lights on. I'm controlling everything with the Sidus Link app and making my adjustments from there. So we'll give you a little walk around on how things look. We do have a 3 camera setup plus 1 for our third talent. We have our 2 main talent sitting down here. So I'll give you a walkthrough of the lighting first. Introduce each light. We have a 600X Pro with an Aputure 150 dome running the 2.5 stop diffusion. It is very low output at just 3%, and that is hitting our subjects here. And then we're running 2 F22Cs with grids, so we have some spill control, boomed over, balanced, nice and even, so we don't have a safety issue. And that is the view from behind talent. So kind of lighting this in 2 zones. We have the zone on the left side of the room here where you see the chairs, and the other zone is the kitchen dining area. So those are our 2 kind of main zones and how they interact with each other, and we'll show you how that all comes together. So the F22s are running the grid and the thicker diffusion, the 2.5 stop diffusion. We have an Amaran T4C here with a grid. The grid is necessary for spill control, and it is actually lighting this area down here. The F22s are giving us edges. I didn't mention that, but those are like hair lights and edges. We do have a light dome over here, and that light dome is for our third talent, which sits in this spot, lighting them directly. It's a light dome 3. We have a 300D Mark II with the diffusion being the thicker of the two, and I'll show you that over here with a grid to limit spill. This person does interact with our talent, which is over here, and this is a look from behind camera looking towards the talent. One camera is manned, and it will be panned back and forth for our tights. This is how that looks. Now, we had big windows in this space. So if you look straight ahead and up, we are blocking out quite a bit of light. And you see some spilling in right now, but by the time of day where we're at, it's more ambient than it is actually hitting those directly, because the sun will be lower. But we used quite a contraption to block out the light up there because we didn't have access to a big enough ladder to do something direct. So we used our big boy combos and T-barred a 8x8 solid and a furniture blanket, fernie pad. So let's go into the dining area. So we have a mix of things here, and I left one thing out, but right here we're replicating what you would normally have as a dining light, dining room table light. We have this 600D that's gelled, booming over, creating that nice effect of a light on a dining room table. And then we have solids blocking out light from two windows. One is a doorway, one is a regular window. And then in this space too, we're blocking out windows. Now, we wanted control, so this is this blocked out section. Make sure we have control in this front area, and this light is behind them. And what we actually did, I'll show you on the other window, it's the same thing, so I could set it down and show you, is we actually gelled the window. So if you go here, we can actually see the window is gelled. We used some scraps on this one. The other one is more solid, but we gelled the window, and that gives us that nice glow from outside. Otherwise, if you look here, and I were to move this out of the way, see how blue that is? You could see the color difference. So we're making sure that we carry that, you know, nice golden hour look throughout the space. So that's how that one is done up. And then we have what we would call our lift, our room tone, that kind of brings up the levels in the whole room. And that is a 600X Pro with an F10 Fresnel. And that is just bouncing off the ceiling there to bring up levels. And one of the final light setups is we are running some MCs into this world here to give us a little bit of a boost. And at one point, which the client has maybe a change of mind, we had a slash of light going across the back of the room. And I'll see if I could introduce that. And it was getting motivated by that window. So in frame, it looked like it was coming in and shining through the window. And we don't have to make it very intense, but we were motivating that. And we were lucky enough, since we're not hitting any objects, we could actually do it from the opposite direction across the room. and that is located here. And that is a 300D with a 36-degree spotlight with a gel on the front of it, set to a CTO gel, which is what the gels we have on all the windows, giving us this slash as well. So that's playing as well in this space, along with this light here, giving us that nice glow overall. One of the main things that we want to do is create some visual interest, and we separated these areas into two zones: talent coverage and then the background coverage, to give us some, you know, excitement in the background. Client and the talent wanted to let us know is they didn't want it to be overdone and look too studio, because if it looked like a commercial, like too aggressively, they wouldn't be happy with it because it wouldn't feel comfortable like it's someone's home. So we had a fine line to follow. So that's where we kind of created this world. So you see the dining table behind us. They put some artwork up, and we're creating some things that are really nice. And then we have the 3-shot or the 2-shot here, camera 3. So if we're kind of engaging, we can kind of, you know, the main person in this live stream is actually in Jesse's seat, so they may be talking and I would be looking over at him and interacting and reacting to him. So that's a nice little 2-shot. So we're going to go ahead and cut over to some lights. So let's go ahead and see the lights that actually affect the space of where we're at. So I'm going to go ahead and remove all the lights first, and then I'm going to build up the lights from the back to the front so you could see what the elements in the back do, and then we'll see what the elements in the front do. Or we may do the reverse. Who knows? Always change it up. So this is all the lights off. So one thing you'll notice right off the bat is we left that overhead on. So I'm going to turn that off. Big no-no. There we go. And so now we're not spilling that tungsten overhead into the space. And this is what we're getting. So one thing that's really cool is behind Jesse's head, you see an orange glow. It is actually still early in the day. It's 3:50. We don't have an orange glow yet. But what we did is we gelled those windows. So that window and another window to give us that effect. So naturally right now you see the glow spreading to that artwork. So what we wanted to do is we wanted to carry that glow, and we added a slash right there. And that slash kind of carries that glow. And what we need to do is we need to probably adjust the intensity on it, make it look good, and we'll see how it looks overall. So we have that slash. So now we have that plant in the background, and we wanted to kind of accent that. So we mimicked a light coming down from above, and that's where you have that pop into place. So that looks really good, and it's exciting to just see a little bit of pop. And we want to make sure, and you know, Jesse wanted to make sure as well, that we didn't draw too much attention to that. So it is a white actual vase, so we didn't want to make it too bright, so we had to keep an eye on that to not make it draw too much attention. So when everything builds up, you'll see that you won't be drawn too much to it, but it does exist in that space. And then what we have is what we have as a bounce fill, or just kind of bring up the levels. And you see it spilled all into the space, and it's actually doing quite a bit. And it's only at 4%, and that we're using a 600X for. The actual vase, we're using a 60D with a gel on it. And then for the spotlight, we're using a 300D with a gel and a 36-degree spotlight. So now we are going to add another element. So I'm going to go ahead and change cameras, and you'll see in the kitchen the spill that we're having happen in the space. And that spill, and you can actually see the mics here above us because I tilted it for Jesse, but you'll see the spill in the space, which is good because it looks like there's overhead lights on. So what we also did is we introduced some MCs into the underside. I mean, there we go, get them all on. So that's what would happen if you overdid it. We don't want to overdo it. We kind of had them at like kind of like an 8 to 10%. So that's how that space falls in. And then one last element for the background, it's actually for this 2-shot, is right under the bar area. We're getting a mixing of colors, so we wanted to introduce this guy right here. So you see just a little splash there, and we are actually getting a reflection, so we have to adjust that. It probably got bumped because I was turning it on and adjusting a few things, so we'll adjust that right now, right there. And it doesn't really create anything too crazy. And we could kind of make some tweaks to it. And now we can go ahead and go back to our main light, and we'll see how all this comes together when we turn our key on and our edge light. There's one right there, giving me a little bit of a glow here, and you can see it's creating that same edge on Jesse on the back side right there. And then we'll turn the other one on, and there's another one there, and they could both be adjusted depending, but we're kind of getting some separation. So this already looks cool for what we would do as, you know, filmmakers, but we got to remember both of our talent are looking straight ahead. We're not doing a cross. And what we would like to do is always do like kind of a cross far side key to make it look good. That's what we were hoping for, but it just wouldn't work in this space. So now we've got to come in with just the key light itself, and that lights it up and it's super bright. So you add all these elements up, they come together and everything looks good. So I'm going to go ahead and switch over to our other mode. I know this is very exciting for Jesse because, you know, we're creating YouTube videos, the magic, guys.
That's right.
See what he's doing for you? He's sacrificing his time. And we've been, you know, putting it in. So this is how it all comes together. This is how it looks. So we built everything up and made things happen. So let's go ahead and subtract some things in the Sidus link and see what it looks like when we remove something. So let's remove those edges first. So you're looking at the key on us now. If we remove both of those edges, kind of falls flat. And this is one thing I always see in the comments, and people get on to us, and I'm going to show you guys. They're like, all you need is just a dome. That's it. Just a dome will fix everything, and it'll make everything look good. So we're going to leave this dome on, and I'm going to start separating stuff from the background like that. Okay. And then we're going to separate out. Oh, we don't need those flowers lit. We don't need that little bit. See, that tube actually does that right there.
Also helps because we have this window right here. It helps sell that light's coming through here.
Exactly. So when we cut to that tighter shot of Jesse, you could actually see the window is gelled there as well, and it kind of motivates it as well and kind of carries it. So you have all that, and you know, slash is gone, and it's really low right there, and we could always just adjust it slightly more. And so you take the slash away, and then here you go. This is just the key.
Yeah.
Just a dome. So just a dome right now looks okay. It's not the best, but what happens is we end up losing that glow there as well because later in the evening it starts to disappear. So we do rely on those other lights happening. But this is what it looks like. So no, just that doesn't really cut it.
No, we're losing a lot of layers, a lot of contrast in the scene. It just, I mean,
we could kind of fall flat. There's not like an edge separation, something you'll see that your eye just naturally is drawn to. If you ever look at YouTube thumbnails, they always will do like an outline or an edge or something, or even like text will have like, you know, a shadow or an edge to it or an outline to make it pop. Well, you want to pop from your background. Yes, you could have that color contrast here, but as soon as we add, you know, those F22s, I mean, look at that. That already makes a big difference, and it kind of motivates it and sells the point. And just to show you what it is like with everything on, we turn everything on and then remove the key, and this is what we're sitting at. So this is everything on. So you're saying remove everything we have and just have the dome. It just doesn't do it. And if we had the ability and had the space and could get really crazy with it, I bet we could shape this a little more.
Sure.
But we do have limitations on time and budget. And this is what we came up with in addition to another section for our MC that gets lit up, which we just did a light dome straight onto them. So overall, what have you felt about just the look and feel of it and how it came together in the time frame?
Yeah, it's been looking great. I think we did a lot with, especially considering like the crew size we had and the timing that we had, we really knocked out a lot of stuff.
How many crew members did we have technically?
1, 2, a third kind of grip swing, and then...
And cam up. I brought in Aaron, which will give you some shots of him so y'all could see what he's like. One of his projects that I was on with him will be coming out soon.
Love the overall look. Like, especially, I mean, even to kind of touch on what you said about where people say you just need a dome. Like, if all this just felt dark and you just had this, like, us lit up, it's actually more distracting to the viewer because everyone's wondering what's back there. Like, what is, I'm searching to see why are they hiding something, you know?
Yeah.
And so it's just natural.
It's like a void.
It's pleasing to the eye. It's what you would see if you were just sitting in an environment.
Turn it all on and then turn off the, so that's the key off, turn it all off, and this is just a key.
Yeah.
It just...
Yeah, you just start wondering what's going on back there. It doesn't look natural to the eye. Nothing looks like this in real life.
Yeah.
And so we need to make something that is pleasing to the viewer, makes them feel like they're in the home with this talent specifically.
As crazy as it sounds, like for me, and maybe because I'm a lighting nut, when all this is off, or turn it all on, and I turn the key off, I'm almost more interested in this, you know, and just kind of bringing up a little bit because, you know, we got some shape, you know,
and there's something to it.
And, you know, and we did go with the big key source down the middle because we do have 2 subjects. We have it coming in as low as we can get it and, you know, as centered as possible. When we got here, we worked together to achieve what we wanted. And what's really great is having a vision as a team, and, you know, Aaron, Jesse, and myself working together to make it happen and giving each other input. Like the hard part, the lighting was fun, setting up the camera, but running the stream and switching and keeping an eye on things and coordinating, that's a whole nother thing. And I don't even know if we're going to even get into that at any point, but we will show some behind the scenes of what it looks like. Luckily, we're in the living room space, and just beside us is a room that we were able to run everything to make our kind of command center, which was really awesome. Thanks so much, guys. I guess we'll wrap up the video here. Thanks so much for everyone that watches, especially Jesse. He's hired me out because he watched the channel, and everyone that likes, shares, comments. Really appreciate it, and we'll see you on the next one.